Hello all and welcome. I'll be drawing the ineffable Michael Sheen in this video. You may know him for his roles in Underworld, Frost, Nixon, The Queen, Masters of Sex, and most lately, Good Omens. I'm starting out with measuring. It gets tricky if your space isn't big enough and you end up bumping the ruler into everything, including yourself. It also helps if you're good with numbers. I kept writing things wrong. This is the most tedious, least rewarding part of the painting process. This is a pastel paper from Clairefontaine with various pastel pencils. I'm so used to drawing in graphite, and pastel is still so new to me that I had to put away my graphite so I don't use them accidentally. Drawing with pastel over graphite won't work, obviously. I would just end up ruining it. Learned that the hard way. Using a ruled board underneath is great. It would be even greater if I wouldn't forget that I have a ruled board. This type of mathematical drawing is still very strange to me. I need this though, until I can do it accurately by freehand, or until I'm sure enough in my art that I can let go of inaccuracies, whichever happens first. Until then, I like my eyes, foreheads and noses in the right places, thank you very much. You can also use the grid method for this. I might do that next. Never tried it really, I'm a bit reluctant. But practically this isn't easier, just more chaotic, less organized, more like me. With just a few outlines and guiding points, I can finally start. For anyone interested, the measuring took me about 1 hour, which is way too much, and we'll have to figure out a method to cut down the time. Or just give in and try out the grid method, or projecting the photo onto the paper. There are many cool ways to make your life easier, or your work quicker for a commission, or if you're on a tight schedule. Finally, I remembered in time to start on the left side and not on the right. But I know I'll just keep jumping all over the place. So the tracing paper will be my best friend in the upcoming days. I like experimenting with different brands of pencils and different blending tools. I might do a short video or tutorial about that in the future, focusing on the stuff you can get in this part of the world. I still have a few brands and types of equipment on my wish list that I want to try out before I can safely say which are my favorites or how to best use them. There are so many wonderful artists, groups, teachers out there to learn from. It's honestly a bit overwhelming sometimes. I can get lost in the sea of information. That's why most of the time I experiment on my own, I make mistakes, and yeah, it can take me 1 hour to do something that could be done in 15 minutes. The famous Sheen knows. It's so unique, I can go wrong so easily. This was the first thing I remembered from him, back in his Underworld Twilight era. I didn't really know his name, but I instantly recognized him anywhere, from his nose only. Still not sure about that right eye. Moving on and hoping that in the end it will all come together. Sometimes I completely lose all sense of time, which is good, I suppose, meaning I love what I do. I'm not governed by the clock. It also means I overwork commissions and projects, I lose sleep, ignore chores, forget to drink water. Yeah, stop and drink water while you draw. Put a timer, put a bottle next to you, whatever, drink water. Continuing with his face, starting to see him emerge from the paper. These blending sponges that I use are wonderful for pastel. It feels like I'm actually painting, not drawing. With pastel, it takes several layers to build up your highlights and shadows. I like to push the paint into the paper with sponges, stumps and brushes, and sometimes my fingers or Q-tips. That's why I need a good pastel paper, so it can hold it and let more layers be built upon it. I will get my hands on pastel matte one day, which is apparently the paper for pastel, but of course you have to order it from Amazon. We'll see. If anyone knows another good option, let me know in the comments below. Usually I use this grey Clairefontaine paint on paper. That's multi-technique, but works well with pastels. I tried a toned paper from Caran d'Ache as well, but wasn't really impressed with it. Oh, hello Michael. Feel like something's amiss, so I have to stare at his face from closer. This reference photo was done for the New York Comic Con in 2018 by Vulture. David Tennant and Neil Gaiman also attended. I'll continue with their photos and finish the series with Sir Terry Pratchett, of course. The fact that everyone working on Good Omens continues to honor Terry's legacy and Neil carries it even further, it's so amazing and lovely. The whole production is filled with love and care and fun, with that particular Pratchett humor, with Easter eggs and homages. I don't think it could have been done better, and that's a first from me about book-to-screen adaptations. I mean, yeah, there is Lord of the Rings of course, but this feels much more like home. We have some light, now let there be dark. Looking at it now, I wonder how it would look on a black paper with white charcoal. Maybe more like a sketch, less measuring. Could be worth a try, I don't know, a study in contrast. This photo is definitely worth more than one painting, and my hyperfixation isn't going away anytime soon, so I might just give in. I started this before the series 2 came out, hoping that I would finish it with the whole post-process work before the release, but life happened, couldn't finish it in time, so here it is now. You thought I was done with measurements, right? Nah. Okay, measuring's done for now. Continuing with the rest of his face. I never drew beard before, but if I squint enough from the right angle, it looks like duck fur. The mouth at least is something I have experience in drawing. Faces always fascinated me, in a I don't get it, but great to look at, alien kind of way. Even my first memory of my earliest drawing was of a stick figure with a detailed head that I did when I was about 2 years old. My parents kept it and displayed it on our kitchen wall for years. It's funny how I never got the hang of reading people, in spite of this fascination. Maybe this is my coping mechanism. After several hours of drawing, it gets harder to see clearly. I like to put the drawing next to the photo, look at it from a distance, or look at the recording on my screen with the photo next to it, and draw like that, not looking at all at the paper. It would be better to work on an easel and not horizontally on a desk. With pastel and charcoal, it's especially hard to get a clean drawing working horizontally, or to get any work done easily. I like to stand up, move around, dance, jump, look at it from a distance, turn it upside down, look at it from every possible angle, squint at it. Right now I don't have space for an easel, but that will change soon-ish. Keep your pencils sharp, people. What do you like to use for pastels? Right now I'm doing it old school, but I'm open for suggestions, because I'm not a big fan of spending half an hour every time I'm sharpening. Yeah, don't do this over your work. Don't be lazy like me. Diving into the tiny details I love so much. Okay, it's more like a love-hate relationship, but they bring everything together. But I also can get lost in them. I don't think I ever stared at a beard this much before. When the details start to blur together, I like to take one small portion, put it into a frame like in a paper or with my fingers, or just zoom into it so that I don't see anything else and just do that portion. It helps me focus. These sponges make me want to start painting with oil. I've never done it, I don't have the space or the supplies, but this is like some primal need. It will be done sooner or later. Digital painting is another thing I have on my have to learn soonish list. I don't feel any urge to really start that learning though. It doesn't have the same feeling, same effect. It won't get my hands dirty, won't make a mess. It's more like a necessity in this day and age. Still intriguing though. I wouldn't have to spend so much time on measuring, for instance. That alone might be enough to convince me. Another round of measurements, obviously. Checking stuff, trying to finish the neck, but something seems off. In hindsight, it's pretty obvious what. It was not obvious while I was drawing it. Yeah, about that grid method. Definitely worth a try. Pastel is my friend though. I can easily mend mistakes, redraw, overdraw, light over dark, dark over light. You can keep adding, layering, moving things a bit. Lovely stuff, this pastel. When you start to move out that ugly phase, it is so rewarding. He still doesn't have hair or forehead. His beard and neck is not really finished, and there are details parts I keep going back to, but at this point he would probably maybe recognize himself. So yeah, I'm starting to see the end. I'm attempting his forehead without my ruler. What could go wrong? He could look like a completely different person, or like someone old, or angry, or an old angry person. Nah, I don't need my ruler. Looking at double sheen a bit more while I start on his hair. If his beard was a challenge, his curly graying hair can go to the Olympics of challenges. Obviously, I can't follow my own rules. I forgot my beloved tracing paper. Well, rules are made to be ignored. The same with measurements. They're my crutches until I go full Forrest Gump and start to run awkwardly. Wow, that ugly face again. Ears are weird, as well as foreheads, and graying curls, and people in general. Another moment that should have happened horizontally. This makeup brush is great, but I shouldn't blow the pastel dust off into every corner of my room. It's not healthy, obviously, and not easy to clean up. Using a small handheld vacuum is an option, sure, but a desperate one. I'm always afraid it will take off more than I want. I almost vacuumed off Michael's face. Mixing charcoal with pastel is good for creating darker areas, shades that will help the highlights pop up more. Pastel sticks or pan pastel is also a good option if the latter is available in your area. Here it is not. I tried to use something similar to pan pastel, but it's not the same quality, I think, and honestly I'm not happy with how it behaves. Charcoal to the rescue. This type of charcoal was the first I ever tried, some 15 years ago. It's from Kohinoor. Pretty easily accessible, good price, lovely to draw with. The white pencil is also great. Pastel came late into my life, really start of this year, but it fits so well with charcoal. Let's blend it all in. I love blending. It brings everything together, gives it depth, life. Even when I doodle absentmindedly, I end up making smooth, blended gradients, spheres, cubes, swirls. Giving it another layer of charcoal, because it looked too flat to me. His hair is more grey than dark naturally. I'm sorry, Michael, but you're getting old. So I have to be careful with my blacks. Finishing touches. This is so weird. Working on the whole page, going out to the edge. I never do that. I have something against using the whole page. Maybe being afraid of taking up too much space, filling it all up. But I'm working on it, forcing myself to be brave here. When my studio is up and running, I'll start using bigger paper sizes, oh my god. I might never declare it finished if I wasn't forced to leave on vacation. Okay, here it goes. I'm done with you, Michael, for now. I might do a zero fail next time attempt to draw his face. No facial hair! Just a white fluff on his head. What a luxury that would be. Thank you for watching, folks, and if you like my work, please give this video a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel.